going on, everybody? Welcome back today, guys, to the channel. Need for Speed Heat footage did end up going out yesterday. IGN did a live stream at Gamescom. We have their IGN producer, Dustin Legary, and Riley Cooper from Need for Speed Heat, and they're going to go through, and they were building the Corvette Grand Sport. Now, this, right, we have some new gameplay coming out for today. They did talk a lot about the game, which was really good. We had a really good interview for the first time. You know, usually you watch these at these events and these press coverages, and they're just littered with questions we already either know or just really simple questions that if you follow the franchise, you know that it's in the game, you know how it works and stuff like that. So we had some great questions. I wrote some of them down. I actually tweeted about this saying that it was a great interview. You know, we need more like these. I forgot to tag him in the post. My buddy ended up tagging him, and then he said, huge thank you. So that is really cool that he actually seen the post, but we definitely need more interviews coming from him on different racing games, man. I want him to ask Forza developers some questions out there. That's all I'm saying. Need for Speed Heat, though, pretty big this year at Gamescom. Probably the biggest game there. It's taken over everything, at least in my opinion. But we learned some new things. Now, we didn't learn anything new for customization. To be honest with you, it's a little bit disappointing that there's no kind of rep levels for your cars. I really would love to see them go back to the underground era where, you know, the more you did to your car, the better rep you had. And sometimes it forced you to use parts that you either didn't want to use, but it was cool to change into them for a little bit of time just so that you had to use them. And right, it just kept the game fresh as you're going. We got a pretty good list into the character customization here. Looking pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I love the outfits, very modern, right? We got some actual name brand merch coming into the game, and obviously it's gonna leave room probably for some microtransactions later on for some different clothes, maybe some DLC packs, I don't know. But I'll definitely pay for it. I think it's going to be a great game this year for that. They did mention, you know, regarding the microtransactions, and they said that they have no plans for microtransactions right now was the key word. So they said right now, definitely going to be doing it probably at a later time. They said right off the bat, they will be doing a time saver pack and also doing car packs as well too. So we can look forward to that on a monthly basis. I would really hope that they also do maybe some collaboration with Yeezy, Kanye, right? That would be pretty cool to see some Yeezys in the game. Maybe some Wave Runners show up, right? That would be pretty cool. One of the biggest things, though, that I have noticed on the grid for the upgrades is that there's no drag racing. And, you know, it's kind of worrying me that we're not going to see any drag racing in the game. I hope that maybe they're just kind of hiding it, but I'm not seeing much. Now, they were in the garage there. They were talking about how the garage is going to work in terms of, you know, leaderboards. And I kind of got a little bit confused as to what he was saying. He was talking about instead of being ranked throughout the entire community, you're going to be ranked within your garage of 32 other drivers. And then if you wanted to, you can back out and maybe make a new crew and just do that. But you're within them to see your rank between them. It was a weird statement that he said. Kind of made me think that there's no, you know, global leaderboard system, which would be very annoying. I hope that there is, which I don't see a reason why there wouldn't be, right? It's called All Drive for a reason. That's, you know, the main thing. It keeps track of all that stuff too. So we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out. A few other things to mention just before on the customization. We actually had different types of headgear and masks that we can actually put on our guy. So I mean, we had the Jason mask that was on there. There's a lot of different ones this year, and I'm sure that there's going to be helmets coming in and stuff like that too. So I really love the way that they're going with the character customization. A few other things that they did mention were that there's no limits on engine swaps, pretty much. So you're saying, you know, you can put a V12 into a GTI, make it a grip build, and go from there. But, you know, I'm just curious to see what we can actually swap into the cars. We did get our look at some, you know, first gameplay footage actually, and it looks pretty good from the demo. You know, the handling models, they look definitely a little bit, you know, easier to control in terms of that sense. There's no snappiness to it. They're not kind of jerking around, you know, left and right, and you have your arcade slide, which, you know, we knew was going to happen. That's the new Need for Speed, right? It's 2019 Need for Speed, and you know, we have to live with that kind of drifting mechanic. That is the way that their physics model works, as right, you guys can tell it needs to happen for the car to kind of have that oversteer effect. So I definitely think that this time around, though, they have confined it a little bit better, and it looks a little bit more realistic when you're driving, right? It doesn't look stupid or sloppy in that sense. And at the end of the day, this is an arcade racer, right? We have to keep that in mind when you're looking at Need for Speed, no matter how badly we want this to go back to the underground days. Now, they also showcased some night racing with the police chases, which I will say got hectic, man. It looked fun, though, right? That's the biggest thing. The game looks fun. It brings you back to that Need for Speed Most Wanted days. few other things in here that they've talked about is that they've changed everything in a sense of going back to street racing. As you guys can see, right, they're really revolving around the nighttime street racing. They have dumpsters on fire on the side. Trees are on fire. I just noticed that. Holy shit, man. Right, the game looks very entertaining, especially at night. It comes to life. And, if you look at the map size, they haven't really talked anything about the map size, but it definitely kind of looks like it's going to resemble a Midnight Club style size to it, I feel like, especially with the amount of roads that are in there, different highways, and I hope we have a good chunk of road to drive for this game that we're going to be getting. Now, of course, this is definitely a pre-build. This is, far from probably what is going to be seen as a, a fully purchased product, but it does look pretty good, right? I mean, in terms of, the smoothness of it. Right here, though, have a quick listen to this.
Right now, oh my God, we're seeing a night race right now. He's in 5th place.
That's right.
I'm gonna put the pressure on the guy doing the gameplay in the back. You worked on the game.
Mike will love it. Mike will love it. He's one of our best drivers.
Yeah. Well, the internet might say differently.
I definitely loved how fun they were together, right? Definitely a great interview. Destin, he's solid, man. I followed him on Twitter after this interview. I'm definitely going to be looking out for more of him. IGN, 10 out of 10. I will leave the full link down below for this interview as well as Destin's Twitter for you guys to go and follow. But, just going back to the gameplay, though, it's definitely fast-paced, and that, has been their thing, the last few years is just really fast-paced racing with the police. I hope, though, that it's not as easy as, other previous Need for Speeds were. I hope that the difficulty level is definitely going to be, jacked up. I hope that the driving is going to be challenging in terms of that aspect too. And, trying to stay on the road. I do like the aspect of, trying to stay true to driving and, staying on the road. But they've kind of made that not possible with, no more dead stop traffic, they said. They don't really care too much about it. They're trying to, keep the, the game flowing in that aspect. But, I feel like we're moving away from hard games. And that's what really made games fun back in the day, were just difficult games where, you had to attempt them maybe, 2 to 3 times at the later levels to really, get through that. And, I mean, I just want the game to be difficult. I want to be able to be challenged on this game, and I hope that the police will do that. They seem pretty reckless. There's a lot of rhinos out there taking some damage, and as you guys can see, the cutscenes for the police busting, right, it's pretty cool. It's different. We did see an in-game police cutscene, so that, hopefully will be used for the story mode. We haven't really heard too much about the story mode yet. We haven't really seen anything other than the gameplay that we're seeing, and then obviously the first trailer that we got. But there's got to be a story mode, right? I mean, there has to be. Obviously, I don't think they're going to go back to the Rivals style with, no story mode, just doing events. They're going to go back to Payback in 2015. They both had story modes. Why would they stop there, right? It's going to happen. I just had a little scare, man. I was thinking about it today. I was like, what if there's no story mode on Need for Speed Heat? And I was like, you know what? No, man, there's got to be. They showed the cop at the start. We're good. At least, hopefully, fingers crossed to see what's more about that. They did confirm that you're not going to be playing as a cop, unfortunately. That was, probably one of my biggest expectations, was to be able to get into a cop car at some point in time in the game when you beat it and, being able to play as a police officer. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, unfortunately. They also did mention that there's not going to be any impounds on the card, which, if you do remember Need for Speed Most Wanted, you get 3 impounds, your car is taken away, and you have to get another vehicle. I would have liked to see that in the game. I really would have. I don't know about you guys. Like I said, it makes it challenging. It makes you not want to get pulled over. If you get pulled over now, you get busted, right, cool. You're just going to lose your heat level. You see what I'm saying? It's not a really big risk to reward factor. You gotta really be scared in that aspect, and I think that would have been the best way to do it, is give yourself an impound strike, and maybe you won't get pulled over a second time, right? That's all I'm saying. Now, they did mention also that there's going to be flamingos in the game for the collectibles. I don't know how many that there's going to be, but I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few of them. Same with billboards are coming back. And also too, that the fuel pumps that you do see on the map are going to be repairs like we had. I think in Need for Speed Run did that. I think a bunch of them has done that also too, but that was the traditional repair your car at the pumps. I would like to see a game mode, maybe tailored to a higher difficulty level, where if players wanted to play and, take the risk of having the damage meter on, and as soon as you, lose all your damage or you destroy your car, the car is gone in that aspect, or you have to wait, a few days to get it back in terms of repairing it. I think that would be cool. Up the difficulty level. I'm just all about making games harder, man. I'm sorry, but I feel like that's the key to making games more fun and challenging. and, you know, kind of a longer life cycle also too, right? It kind of gives you more pride in the game of, you know, beating it. And those are the games that I remember back in the day were the hardest ones that I played, because it really did take time and focus, and you had to be there in the game playing it in order to get past that level. Otherwise, right, it was going to be a hard day of retries, right? That's all I'm saying, man. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Huge thank you to IGN for some great coverage over at Gamescom. As I said, I will leave all their links down below for you guys, but I definitely had a fun time enjoying watching this. I want to see more gameplay on the game. Hopefully, they come out with this demo for us. I don't know if that's going to be possible or not, but we still have a few unanswered questions about Need for Speed Heat. First thing, manual transmission. We haven't really talked about it. I see the gear changes on the far right side right there. I see them going up and down, so I'm praying that we can do that manually, and maybe even old school with the right analog stick, right? That would be pretty damn crazy. Also, drag racing still unanswered. We don't know if it's going to be in the game or not. We also got kind of an answer from Toyota on Twitter the other day. If you guys have been following that whole thing that went down about the Fast and the Furious post, they were asking, you know, why isn't the 2020 Supra in Need for Speed? And Toyota finally gave us a response. It wasn't what everybody expected it was going to be, and then they kind of, you know, backtracked today, and they kind of gave a public 5-post response on Twitter, and it says, about last night, we love that you want to see our cars in all the favorite racing games, and honestly, we want the same thing. Most of us in the Toyota GB social media team fell in love with cars through games like Toka, Daytona, and Gran Turismo. One of us even has fond memories of pole position on the Atari. Officially, Toyota Motor Corporation has no concrete plans to license its motor range to any other game besides Gran Turismo Sport at the moment. When you challenge us as to why Toyota doesn't appear in your favorite racing games, we don't want to reply to you with a generic message, but we are currently limited in what we can say, and yesterday we got our response wrong. We'll be really excited to share our future plans with you as soon as we are able to. In the meantime, whether it's Gran Turismo Sport, Forza, or Need for Speed, keep on racing. Pretty cool that they actually said something on Twitter, but we finally have a response as to why Toyota is not in the games. Obviously, we already knew this, right? We knew it was a licensing issue, but, you know, it's cool to see them actually come out and talk to us about it. Regardless, Need for Speed Heat's going to be a great game this year. I'm very excited to get my hands on this and play the full version. As I said, full Let's Play with the wheel. Hopefully, man, fingers are crossed for wheel support so I can make that happen for you guys. Don't forget to slap that like button on your way out today. You guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all of which are found down below. I'm pretty excited for this game, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out. Peace.